and welcome to Studio Nicole. I am so glad that you're here. I want to talk about travel journaling today. I want to talk a little bit about the why and the how I travel journal. So, when I first started watching YouTube videos about junk journaling many years ago, I was absolutely fascinated. I thought it was super cool. I definitely wanted to do it, but I couldn't bring myself to create a journal just to look at, right? Like I didn't want it to just sit on the shelf and exist. I needed it to have a purpose. It had to serve some kind of a purpose in my life. And travel journaling kind of turned out to be the perfect fit. It gives me an excuse to create journals, to decorate them, to use all the pretty papers and ephemera. And it also documents travel, my trips with my family, our vacations, and the places that we've been and we visited. So that is how my travel journal obsession kind of started. I have created several travel journals since then. I'm going to highlight three of them in this video because each one of them was made slightly differently. And then I'll do deep dives individually going through and doing flip throughs of these. But I just want to do an overview of some different ways that you can travel journal. Actually, I might drag in a fourth journal. This one is not my favorite, but um it's an interesting way of like creating a journal, and so maybe I'll share that with you at the end. So the first journal I'll start with is this Amsterdam journal because this is the one that I'm currently working on. I did an entire video explaining how I created it, the materials that I use, and doing a flip through of the blank journal before I went on the actual trip. So you can absolutely go take a look at that video if you want more detail. But basically, I created the cover using thin paperboard. I sewed in two signatures. Um, I used, I used coordinating papers to create two different signatures. I started with a scrapbook kit about Amsterdam that I purchased online, and then I supplemented that with papers that I had, papers that I swapped for, papers that I purchased on Etsy, and other materials that I thought would work. Um, so this journal is not filled yet. Like this is like the blank journal. I haven't put any of my pictures in. I've only just started filling it. You can see up here at the beginning, I've started filling in some pictures and journaling from the first few days of the trip. Um, but it's still mostly empty. And I suspect that by the time I finish it, it's going to be very chunky indeed. So I might have to rebind it with a wider spine to make it work. We will see. I also notice that the edges are not holding up super well. Like this cardboard is getting very worn. Um, so I might have to do something to reinforce that. But this is my most recent book and the current iteration of my travel journal. Um, evolution, right? Like this is where I'm at currently. Sort of moving backwards in time, we can talk about this Kentucky and Tennessee journal next. This is Kentucky and Tennessee from last summer, 2024. Um, this is actually one of my favorite journals aesthetically. I love it. I love how it came together. I don't love these book rings. So basically, I have these two hard plastic covers with two holes in them, and they already had the holes in them when I started. I covered them and then put the book rings through and then cut papers to fit and hole punched to match. I don't love that it just is very awkward sometimes to open and close. Like these book rings sometimes get stuck. It's not very smooth. I neither need like a narrower book ring or wider holes in the cover and the pages or something. I don't know what needs to happen, but I need to figure this out because this is my least favorite part of this whole journal. Other than that, I love this style. I was able to create pages ahead of time and then just add the pictures later. I was also able to use rack cards, brochures, and maps and things from when we were actually on the trip. And just hole punch them. And I did a corner rounder. I brought a corner rounder with me. And I was able to add those in as we go. I have little strips where I can attach postcards. So yeah, but again, like it doesn't want to close. It doesn't, it's just not smooth. I don't love that. So this was last year. There were 2 or 3 trips, that I haven't journaled, for various reasons. I have all of the stuff from the trip, the photos and all of the ephemera all together in a folder, but I haven't put it into anything yet. This is from 2019. So again, moving kind of backwards in my evolution, this is a book cover with no sew signatures. I did not sew these signatures in. There are 1,000 videos on YouTube that show you how to do this. I might do one someday myself. But it's a really easy way to attach signatures into an existing book cover. And that's what I've done. I have 2 signatures here attached with this no sew twine. It's actually metallic wired thread is what I've used on the cover to attach everything. And it's fraying, so it looks like a mess. And this one I did a coordinating color palette of metallic gold and like yellowy tones, yellowy and coral tones, along with some like scrapbook paper that felt very appropriate. This was obviously a trip to California. I have family that lives there. And so my husband and I and our 2 kids went to San Francisco and Muir Beach and then up to Sacramento to stay with family. And yeah, this is a great journal. There's I printed photos. I think I used an app on my phone to resize many of the photos and print them out smaller. So I would get like the 4x6 printed photo, but it might have like 4 smaller pictures or 3 smaller pictures like on that 4x6. And then I was able to cut them and attach them um within on the different pages. It gave me more flexibility and more freedom. Um, the journal that I created before this, one of the first ever journals that I ever created was this Orlando journal from 2018. And you can see, oh, she is a mess. Way too big for the spine, way too much stuff. All of the photos here are 4x6 photos that I printed all the prints out and then I just stuck them in the journal. And I could have done that if I had planned better, but they just take up so much space. And the photo paper, I don't know. It is what it is. Plus, I used double-sided adhesive and it's just falling apart. Like the tape is not even sticky anymore. Like, I don't know if you can really pick up on that, but there was tape here and like the double-sided sticky tape, and it feels sticky enough, but it just isn't isn't holding up. I did print. One thing I liked about this is that I knew in advance where we were going. We were doing Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, and so I did get images off the internet, like just Google Images or what have you, and I printed on like my cardstock and my paper that I was using. Some of it's on vellum even. Um, and so when I put the journal together ahead of time, I had like the pages felt like they were themed for the trip, right? Because I don't know that there exists like a journal kit for Islands of Adventure or whatever. Like there you go, Universal Studios. There is a merchandise idea for you. Scrapbook kits. Um but I wanted my journal to be themed that way, so I printed those images out and included them in my journal, and then I just added in my own photos and what have you. Um, like I said, that one was falling apart. The tape didn't stick. It was way too full. So I learned my lesson. The California journal was better, and then I got experimenting with different kinds of journals. The last one that I will show you, as I said, I'm not super thrilled with if it's not very aesthetic. This is not a pretty journal, right? I haven't done a lot of decorating. I'm using a pizza box, to go pizza box as a journal cover on this one. But it does the job, right? This was a really quick trip. It was just a couple of days to Anaheim for my son's BPA trip. He competed in nationals a couple of years ago. And so what I did, because I just had a lot of material and I wanted it all in one place, but I just didn't have the time or the energy to kind of like make a fancy book. So what I did, if you can see here, is I bought a used book and I cut the pages just with an X-Acto knife. I just sliced through all of the pages and um, I attached a new cover just out of cardboard. I could have used the original cover, honestly. I don't know what book it was. And then these pages that are cut, I just glued my photos to the little strips of pages. Um, so the each page is just attached to the spine of the original book. So I didn't have to create a spine. It's not super pretty. There's some staples. These were attached with staples because they're kind of heavy. Um, but it gave me an opportunity to include different ephemera, postcards, photos, um, maps, other things. Right? It was just a really easy way for us to document this trip and keep all of the materials together. It's not pretty. I could make it pretty. Maybe someday I will make it pretty. But for now, it does the job. And I just wanted to share this, even though I'm uh not super excited with how it looks. I do think that it's a great way. Um, if you were looking for a very practical, you know, no nonsense way to contain your travel ephemera, this strategy was pretty quick to put together. I will say that. So yeah, so that is my quick overview of the different kinds of journals that I have created over the years and the sort of the why behind the travel journaling. I am excited to get into a few of those journals in more depth and do actual flip throughs where I go through each page and talk about how I created it and how I've decorated it. So those videos will be coming up soon. But in the meantime, let me know if you travel journal, if you create journals ahead of time, if you have used different types of journals before, different strategies. What's your favorite? I hope to hear back from you with your ideas about travel journaling, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me today.